So I've been in the telecom industry a number of years. I started back in the early 80s as a technician, actually, and I worked for a local company that's just like the one that I own today. And it was in the New Haven, Connecticut area, and I made my way through their organization first as just a grunt tech, pulling wires, which was not my favorite thing to do. One of the biggest things that you had to consider was all the energy and time and effort it took just to work on these systems. When I first got started, we actually did wire strapping inside the back of a cabinet just to make lights light on a phone when somebody else's phone lit up. And you had to be very careful not to touch the individual posts between them because you'd mess the whole thing up. Amazing amount of time was spent doing simple things just to get a phone to work, and that's all it would do was like light a light. And then we got a little bit more complicated, and then we would take a telephone and we push buttons on a telephone and light lights on the telephone in order to program the system up. And there was pages upon pages that you had to roll through just to do one task. And it would take you 20 minutes just to get one phone set up because of all the things that you had to do. There's a lot of energy to get just that far. And then we went a little farther and we brought computers into it. And you'd had to have a laptop just to be able to do anything. And you had to, have the right software on that laptop and the right level software, and you'd plug it in. And it would go so slow, and you'd hook it up, and you'd run through it. And the language that they used in order to program these things, I went to school several times for a month at a clip just to learn how to program some of these bigger systems. And it was extremely complicated. An end user would never be able to program those systems, and there was a lot of time and energy that was spent doing that. As time went on, and the technology, ever since the 80s in the telecom world, has been changing at an unbelievably rapid rate. And every couple of years, there was something new came out. And when I got into the industry, I was there when voicemail first came out, and I put one of the first voicemail systems in the state of Connecticut. And as I moved forward, I as each technology changed, I learned it and grasped it, and I loved all the different changes that happened with technology. So I really developed a passion for the industry and learned all the different ways that even those older basic phone systems, basically, what they could do for an organization. And as we've moved on and finally gotten to now the cloud world, that has exponentially grown. I mean, what we can do now is just unbelievable compared to the basic phone system with voicemail and auto attendant. And now, we're helping the organization in a lot more ways that you just even wouldn't call a phone system anymore. It is a business communication solution rather than just a phone system now. And nowadays, I want to program a system. I don't have to be anywhere in particular. I don't have to go in any particular software. I load up a browser. I go to a portal. It is clean cut, easy to read, and super simple to make a change. Anybody can do it. IT leaders in a company can make their own changes. They don't need us anymore for those. They get to save time. They get to save money because they don't need us as well. So it's amazing the changes that have gone from where we started to where we are now. My organization and my employees and I have all grown with that over the years, and we're all very passionate about it. And because we've been doing it for so long, we've got a really good feel for how that should develop and how it's going to help an organization. Unlike a lot of IT companies that have come in and say, hey, we could do a phone system for you because now it just plugs into a computer wire like everything else. Well, they may know how to plug it in, but they don't know how to set it up like we do, because this is what we live and breathe, and this is what we know. We've been doing it a very long time. We do it better than anybody.